Okay, none of my friends or family know that I'm creating a YouTube channel. So if you're watching this video, you found me. I literally woke up yesterday and decided I'm making a YouTube channel. I don't know why or how, but I truly believe that there is someone out there or multiple someones who will see this video and it will just click for them. So hi, I'm Cassidy. Most people call me Cass. I am a yoga teacher, an Ayurvedic health coach, an artist, and just a lover of nature and all things health and mindful living. My goal for this channel is to build a community of people who are curious about diving deeper into holistic health, learning from their bodies, and just being lifelong students of the earth and its sacred teachings. I have lots of exciting video ideas. I mainly want to create content that is centered around what mindful living and healthy living actually looks like in real life. So maybe some Ayurvedic kitchen and wellness tips, different yoga sequences, breathwork practices, guided meditations, somatic exercises. Maybe like some tips for non-toxic household swaps and just products that I use as a natural being, and just other Ayurvedic lifestyle inspiration. So like living with the seasons, maybe some recipe ideas, and hopefully some videos that are centered around painting or music and just creative expression as a form of meditation. So a little bit about me. If you would have told me 9 or 10 years ago that I would be standing here teaching yoga and talking about Ayurveda, I definitely would have laughed, because when I first rolled out my yoga mat in college, it was strictly a way for me to get a good workout in. But as I stuck with it and my practice got more consistent, I realized that there is a lot more to yoga off the mat in day-to-day living. So I had no idea that yoga would become the thread that would weave together my health, my passion, my relationships, and eventually my purpose. So I'm currently 27 years old. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And while I was in college, I lived in a dorm that was riddled with black mold. I was drinking on a weekly basis. I also studied abroad. So I was in different time zones. I spent a lot of time in airplanes, and all of that probably planted the seeds for a lot of my later health issues. Fast forward to 2020, which is when I graduated, and there was also a lot of stuff going on in the world. I graduated college and I dove right into my corporate career in HR and recruiting. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do at the time. I honestly didn't even really give it a lot of thought. I just knew I needed to make money. I wanted to get out there. It served its purpose at the time, but underneath it all, I knew that I had a passion and a spark for something else. Also around that same time, I started to notice that something was off in my own body. I was having a lot of fatigue, flare-ups, inflammation. I would get these rashes all over my body that would later be diagnosed as psoriasis, which is an autoimmune condition. But before I even had a name for it, I was already turning towards holistic health. Ayurveda, deeper yogic practices, traditional Chinese medicine, tantra. I went to retreats and I met teachers who blended the science with the spirituality. And I fell in love with it. So a couple years later, I decided to go and get my 200-hour yoga teacher training certification. And then immediately after that, I jumped into a 600-hour online Ayurvedic education program with the Shakti School, which is where I've been studying for the past 2 years under dozens of amazing teachers. And again, I started falling in love with all of these practices and just with how Ayurveda has always been able to meet me exactly where I'm at. Then, another plot twist. Earlier this year, I was hiking, one of my very favorite activities, and I fell and I broke my elbow. I ended up needing surgery, and it's been about 7 months now, and I'm still relearning how to use my left arm. I could barely even wiggle my fingers after the surgery. It was humbling, It was clarifying, and it was not a life-threatening injury, but it showed me how fragile my life can be, and it really shook me to my core and made me realize that I was not happy in the corporate job that I have been working. So I decided to take the leap and become a full-time yoga teacher, health coach, and just to take care of myself full-time and to focus fully on my healing of my arm, different inflammatory conditions of my skin, my gut. Yeah, the experience really cracked me open, and it cultivated a conversation between my mind, body, and spirit, which has really helped me to get aligned on my purpose and what I want to offer this world. So my healing has not always been just physical. I have gone through a lot of grief, trauma, emotional instability. I had a period there of a lot of violence and aggression towards myself. It has been an uncomfortable process, but a beautiful process. And I have this toolkit of practices that have allowed me to land, and I don't want to keep all of the practices to myself. I truly believe that some of the things that I've been exposed to and that I've learned through my programs and my trainings are going to be a huge value add to a lot of people out there. So my mission is to support anyone that finds themselves at this weird in-between of maybe I know something's off, I'm getting turned away by doctors, I can't pinpoint it, or maybe something isn't necessarily wrong, but there's just something little that needs to change. Maybe I could feel more energized, more at peace, my digestion needs rebooted, maybe I can meet myself and others with love. So yeah, maybe this could be a starting point for you. And I do not claim to have it all figured out, but I believe deeply in walking this path together. I also believe in the power of manifestation. So if two people are working towards the same goal in an aligned way, they're going to reach that goal twice as fast. Imagine if you have 100 people or 1,000 people working towards that same goal. Healing in community, it reminds me of this phrase that I heard during class one time, and it's a simple phrase, but it landed. Illness begins with I, wellness begins with we. So from what I've seen in this work, healing continues in your own home, in your kitchen, in your interactions with others, and the way you speak to yourself. So if you're here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm excited to get to know you all. I'm very passionate about this, and I'm really looking forward to the community that we can build together. So I don't know exactly how often I will be posting. I will try to stay pretty consistent, and stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe if you'd like to connect with me on Instagram or check out my website. I'll put both of those in the description box below. Otherwise, until next time.